Hey there, thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the process that I use to complete an annual money review. This is probably the single most effective and helpful exercise that I've ever done around money and finances, and I can't believe I haven't done it sooner. That said, I'm glad that I've gotten it done now, and I'm really excited to share my process with you. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, then just stick around. So the purpose of an annual money review is to gain clarity on your current financial situation and also be very intentional about where you want to go with your money. You can complete it at any point in the year. I happened to do mine in December, so it just worked out really well with closing out the old year and starting a new year, but you can do this at any point in the year. The most important thing that I want to stress is just to get your review done. That's the most important thing, and I will keep stressing that over and over. Because I know that I put this exercise off for a long time because I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted the perfect setup. I wanted the perfect moment in time. I wanted to clear 2 hours from my schedule, and that just wasn't how it happened. So I'll say again that the most important thing is that you just get it done and you answer these questions for yourself in a way that makes sense to you. So I have to give Rachel Rogers and the Hello 7 brand, the We Should All Be Millionaires framework, credit for introducing me to this way of doing the annual money review. I'm sure that there are many other ways that you can do this review, and there are many different ways to structure these questions and to ask these questions, but the questions remain the same. And again, the most important thing is that you answer these questions for yourself and you gain clarity on your current financial situation. So this annual money review involves taking stock of what you did in the previous year and also, again, gaining clarity about where you want to go for this year. And that is, once more, the most important thing is having clarity about where you're coming from versus where you're going. I'm going to link the questions down below so you have them for easy reference. I'll also put a little asterisk next to the questions that are the most important, and you can probably guess what they might be. More than anything else, I want this to be an encouraging and helpful process. So I'm going to share absolutely everything that went into my thoughts as I completed this review, so you can have kind of a template of one way to do things, and then you can go from there and add in your own numbers, your own thoughts, your own dreams, and your own hopes. I also want to respect your time, so I'm going to be dividing my process and my notes on these questions into 4 separate videos, and that way you can just watch what you want to watch, or if you want to watch them all, then feel free to do that. I'd really appreciate it. So right now, I'm going to read out all 10 questions so you can have an idea of what they look like. I'll let you know how I actually ended up doing this money review. Spoiler alert, it was not the way that I expected. And then I will share with you my notes and my process on answering the first 3 questions. So here are the 10 questions for this annual money review. Question number 1, what was one good money decision that you made this year? Question number 2, what was one terrible money decision that you made this year, or something that you kind of regretted that you did? Question number 3, how much money did you generate last year? Question number 4, what's one area of your financial life where you feel disorganized, messy, ashamed, and just generally not confident? Question number 5, what will you do about this situation? Question number 6, what is your net worth? Question number 7, what is your dream lifestyle? Question number 8, how could you generate the money that you need for this dream lifestyle? Question number 9, what is one old money attitude that you are leaving behind? And question 10, what is one new money attitude that you're bringing in? So the advice I received on how to complete this annual money review was to set aside 2 hours of your day to be relaxed, to light some candles, to pour a beverage, maybe some wine, maybe some coffee, maybe some sparkling water, and to really spend some good quality time getting comfortable with your money. That is very good advice, but I found that I put off doing this review because I was having trouble finding that uninterrupted 2-hour block of time. I ended up starting and finishing this review review at 1:30 in the morning is when I started, and I finished around 3:30 in the morning. So my advice again is just to get it done. It doesn't matter when you start, but get it done. Okay, so here are my notes on the first 3 questions. Question number 1 is, what was one good money decision that you made this year? And for me, the best money decision that I made and that I continue to make is to just keep track of my finances. That for me is the most effective way for me to manage what I'm doing and be able to see what's coming in and what's going out. So for me, that's just keeping track of my daily expenses and being able to see the flow of money. I have a video on exactly how I manage my money, and I will link that up above. That way I don't turn around and be like, where did that $300 go? Or why am I out of money? Yes, making a budget is key, but actually sticking to it and being able to see where your money actually went is even more important, I would say, than making a plan for your money. You gotta know where your money actually went. Question number 2, what is one terrible financial decision you made this year? For me, that would hands down be spending above my means, giving my wants and desires priority over what I actually need to do. And while this was kind of a tough pill to swallow, as I realize that this was a terrible decision that I made, I'm also giving myself credit for saying, hey, this was a bad thing that I did and I don't want to do it again. This also helped me clarify just how important it is to me that I spend below my means. It sounds really silly and really simple, but it's very true. And for me, this year was a confirmation that this is really important. Question number 3, how much money did you generate last year? This was a big one for me because while I had kind of an idea of what I was making in my day job and what I was making through my different streams of revenue, I had never actually sat down and said, what is the hard and fast number of what I actually brought in, both gross and net. So what I actually brought in, where that went, what I came home with, and then where that went. So I sat down with my notebook and my pencil and my calculator and my Excel sheet. I logged into my bank statements. I logged into my financial portals. I pulled the numbers from all of my dashboards and I wrote them down in black and white with a pencil and my hand so I could see exactly how much I brought in. So while this was a little bit tedious, it was actually super helpful because it gave me a crystal clear picture of exactly what my financial income looked like last year. The biggest surprise for me was that my savings rate was actually higher than I thought, and that was kind of really encouraging. I may make some adjustments to how I choose to allocate that savings going forward, but right now I'm just encouraged that my automatic savings rate is higher than I thought. So once I had my total income from last year, I listed it out as my gross number from all of my income sources before tax or any pre-tax contributions, and then I figured out my net income. So that was the total amount that I made after taxes and all those pre-tax contributions. So that net number is the actual amount that actually hit my bank account. Once I had that number, just for fun, what I did was take my spending, so all of the expenses, fixed and variable, that I had that I keep track of. Remember, I do this in Excel. I list all my expenses for every single day, pretty much every dollar I spend. I took that total number and I subtracted that from my net income, and I was actually really encouraged to see that pretty much within the dollar, I could account for each and every dollar I'd made that hit my bank account. So it was encouraging that I knew exactly where my money went. Now, the challenge for me going forward is to be able to kind of better allocate where I spend that money, but just having those numbers in front of me, I find is hugely encouraging. So the point of question number 3, how much money did you generate last year, is to have a crystal clear number of exactly how much money you generated last year. Not kind of a vague idea or a general concept, but an actual hard and fast number. Because the natural question that comes after that is, what are you going to do about it? Do you want to make more? How can you make more? So that's the idea behind this question, is to kind of A, force you to look at what you've done before, and then B, encourage you to dream about what you want to do going forward. So once more, I will say that the most important thing, A, is to get this done. As you probably guessed, question number 3 is a very important question. And B, to take whatever that amount is. If it's smaller than you wanted, if it's bigger than you wanted, then super. But if your income was smaller than you would have wanted this year, then now is the time to start dreaming and planning for how you're going to increase your income for next year. This has been questions 1, 2, and 3 from the annual money review process. Stay tuned for questions 4, 5, and 6 in the next video. And as always, I thank you for watching and hope you'll keep watching. Bye.